Hi everyone, and welcome to the Pearlie Cute channel! I just really wanted to do that, I don't know why. So I've got a slightly new setup today. I'm hoping to continue filming my video from here. I think that this is a nicer background, but I want to make it even nicer. Yeah, I don't particularly want to change this too much because this is where I take a lot of my photos, but if you could think of other things that I could put around here to make it more interesting, then let me know, because I clearly am not that creative. Anyway, today I thought I would share with you a few of the things I've picked up over the years from doing my makeup in Lolita. So there's so many resources out there for Asian girls and white girls who are doing their makeup cute. There are a lot of kawaii makeup tutorials. Obviously the majority of them come from Japan because that's where all the kawaii started from. That's where harajuku fashion started from, so it's obvious to see why that's kind of like where the majority of this comes from. But there's barely anything out there for black girls, lest we forget kawaii patines, black girl makeup tutorial. F's in chat, please. A lot of people have been asking me to make something like this, to kind of do my own tutorials, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best at makeup. So but I thought I would share with you a few of the things that I do that I've kind of taken, I guess, from like kawaii tutorials and turned into my own and adapted them to suit the colour of my skin and also my facial features. And also just me. I feel like I should give a bit of background. So when I started wearing Lolita, I heavily took influence from the kawaii tutorials. In fact, I wasn't even heavily influenced by them. I just copied them, like literally exactly what they did. I just took that and did it on my face, and it didn't look good. I regret so much. And I don't particularly want other people to like make the same mistakes as me, so I think this would be really helpful. So obviously from there I've kind of changed things about my makeup over the years, and I've kind of gotten to where I am now, and I would say that my makeup look now is probably more influenced by Western fashion and like Western makeup trends than kawaii makeup. I've seen recently in years there's a lot of overlap between the two. I used to do things a lot more like kawaii, like I used to do very like puppy shaped eyes, and I like just overlining my lips just a little bit in a very Western way, but I tend to stick to more like Japanese and kawaii style blush, and I don't really like do a lot of contour. I basically contour my face with blusher and not with contour because I think it looks softer and cuter. So if you want to see that, let me know, because it's really weird. Also, I don't contour my nose properly, but we'll get into that. So that actually leads perfectly onto my first tip, which is to not contour your nose in the traditional way. To be fair, I don't know if this really applies to everyone. I don't know if this really applies to black features in general, but I found that when I try and do a traditional nose contour, it doesn't look good. When I used to make videos, I made this video in which I contoured my nose, and it made it look very masculine. It made me look very masculine. It made my features too sharp, and I've really played around with it, and I found that no matter how soft it is, it still adds too much definition, or you just can't see it because it's so soft that there's no point of it being there. I tend to completely just stay away, far away from contouring my nose in that way, and instead this is what I do. So I'm going to start off with some brown just on the tip, just underneath the tip of my nose right here, and then I'm going to put a hint of brown. It's really important to do as little brown as possible, just a little bit, maybe a centimetre above that. And then I'm just going to blend them both out. So the bottom line I'm going to blend down, and the top line I'm going to blend up. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of my highlighter and put that on the tip of my nose, just underneath the top line. And then I'm going to put a bit of highlighter on the bridge of my nose. It's a very subtle contour, which instead of making your nose straighter and narrower and taller looking, it makes it cuter and rounder looking. So I quite like it. It accentuates the tip of your nose a little bit more. My next tip is to make sure you're using blushes that are darker. A lot of makeup tutorials, especially kawaii tutorials, focus on very light blushes, and I don't actually think I own any light ones anymore. I think I threw them all in the bin. Yeah, I threw them all away. I used to own a few, but they're so bad that I threw them all away because they just didn't suit me at all. They'll make you look really ashy, they won't go with your skin colour, and sometimes they just won't even show up. So stay away, just stay away. They're bad. The only blush I own that's somewhat light is this one, which is from Daystar. I got it in Japan. It's like a light orange colour. It's very peachy, kind of orangey colour. Although it's not the worst offender, but it just doesn't quite show up, and it's still a little bit light. So instead I would suggest going for a darker colour. I still like to use kind of reddy orangey kind of brick colours, and there's a particular colour that I've been using that's actually an eyeshadow and not a blusher that I really, really, really like. This colour here from my I Heart Revolution palette, I really like as a blusher. So I'll take some on a fluffy brush, and I actually start my blusher from above my eyes. Now, obviously everyone has different ways of doing their blusher, but I tend to really focus it around the outside of my eye, and then I might bring it like across my cheek, but I tend to do it very high up my cheek. I don't tend to do it like on the apples of my cheeks or like here. I tend to really like have it mostly like around my eye. I always start it off actually going into the crease of my eye and then bringing it down under my eye. I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So I've brought it down under my eye. Sometimes I extend it all the way under here. I usually go a little bit further down as well, and then I'll concentrate it in this lower part of my eye as well. And then I take a blush brush and I just blend it out and turn it more into a blush. And that's how I tend to do my blusher. Right, I'm just going to do the other eye off camera. So as you can see, using a darker blusher just makes it stand out, and it also looks so much better with my skin tone. So I would definitely suggest looking into using darker blushes. I would also suggest getting a nudes palette like this with a lot of darker colours in it. If you're in the UK, I Heart Revolution. Beautiful. Revolution's a beautiful, beautiful brand. Drugstore brand. Just get it from like Superdrug, I think. Yeah, Superdrug. They have all these palettes in them. They've got loads and loads of different ones. Highly recommend. They're very, very lovely, very well pigmented, really good quality, cruelty-free, and also £9 a palette. Really, really, really good. Really, really would suggest. The only thing is that their palettes, I don't like the chocolate. I think it's a bit gaudy, but for £9, I'm okay with it. So I would suggest getting a nude palette like this, or at least a palette with darker colours in it. You can also look at black-owned brands that specifically cater towards darker skin, as they will have not only palettes but also blushes that are a better colour for your skin tone. If you do get a palette though, I would suggest just playing around with the colours and finding the perfect colour, like the colour that you absolutely love, like this one. I'm gonna find a blusher that is this colour because it's just perfect. I'm literally gonna like take this around to like loads of makeup shops and be like, it's a blusher in this colour, I've got the
blusher in this colour
because it's my favourite colour for blush right now. My next tip is for eyeshadow. I don't think eyeshadow really quite plays the same rules as blush, so you want to look for a blush that is darker, but eyeshadow you can go for any colour, trust me. But if you are looking at eyeshadows that are lighter, you want to make sure you are basing them with a light concealer or with a primer that has a light colour to it. There are quite a lot of primers that do that, that are like skin tone colour, but obviously it just means white. But you do still want that underneath your light eyeshadows, so I guess we'll let that one slip. We want the light primer, we'll let it slip this time. I actually find this concealer to be really, really good as a base for eyeshadow. So if you, I mean, just get a primer. If you don't already own something, just get a primer. I just don't have any primer right now at the moment, and I've been using this. So to show you the difference between putting down a concealer or a primer before putting on your eyeshadow and not, I'm going to show you on my hand first. So I've got a little patch of concealer here. So I'm going in with this light pink colour. So this is the pink. And as I blend it out, it basically just disappears. But on the concealer patch, can you see that? The difference is astounding. Let me show you on my eyes. So, just taking a bit of the concealer, I'm just going to pat that onto my eyelids. Taking it as high up as I want my eyeshadow to go. Make sure also that you pat this in. Don't like smudge it onto your skin because it will smudge and then it will get a bit patchy. So just pat it in and be really patient with it and make sure it's really nice full coverage. Right, so now that I've done that, I can then put on my, I look so weird. Ooh, I'm an alien. So now that I've done that, I can go and put on my eyeshadow. I don't really put a lot of colours on my eyes, but I thought I would for this video. I picked up an old sleek eyeshadow palette and it's no good. Anyway, I tried for you guys. If you have better pigmented eyeshadows, please use a concealer or a primer. So the next thing that I suggest that you do, or not do, is put white on the corner of your eyes. So a lot of kawaii tutorials tell you that in order to like enlarge your eyes and make them look bigger and brighter, you want to put white in the corner of your eyes. But I am here to warn you against that. Don't do it. I'm just going to show you what happens when you put it in the corner of your eyes. I'm actually scared a little bit. So if you know what you're doing, then like go ahead and do it. But I think a lot of people would agree with me that it just looks weird. If you're going for, I guess, like an everyday or even like an over-the-top kind of makeup, but you're not really doing an experimental or artistic makeup, then I would really highly suggest against doing this, because the contrast of the white on your eye against your dark skin makes it look fake. It makes it look exceedingly fake. It just completely defeats the purpose of it. So the whole point is for this white to look like your eye and to subtly give you a larger looking eye. It looks really bad. When you're black, it is so prominent on your face that it's so clearly there, and it doesn't really help to enlarge. In fact, I think it actually makes my eye look a little bit like smaller, or like it washes it out a little bit. So instead of going in with a white, you need to go in with a light colour. I tend to dab a bit of highlighter in the corner of my eye instead. And that actually helps to brighten up a lot more. It's more subtle and it has that brightening effect. So I've gone ahead and finished my eye makeup because the next tip is to do with my eyelashes, or your eyelashes, or eyelashes in general. So I find that once I've done my makeup, I tend to lose my eyelashes. I don't think this is such a black girl tip as just a put false lashes on kind of tip. But if you want to give your makeup just a little bit of a pizzazz, wow, I definitely highly and completely suggest that you put on false lashes. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two so you can see if that's kind of the look that you want to go for. So this is the difference between lashes and no lashes. It's a lot. There's a big difference, I think. So if you want a little bit more of a dramatic look, I think like this is okay for an everyday look, but when you're going a little bit more OTT with your outfit, then I think I said this before, you need to balance your face to your hair to your dress. And if you don't wear false eyelashes, I think that it kind of takes away and it makes your eyes stand out less. So they kind of get lost in everything else. And I think that's when it can kind of go from you wearing the fashion to the fashion wearing you. So just be careful. I really think it's good to invest in a pair of false eyelashes. So this brings me to my last tip. We've done eyes, we've done blush, and now we're going on to lips. Pretty much my only tip for lips when you have dark or black skin is to make sure that, like with your cheeks, it's not too light. Let me show you. So this isn't even that light, but if you use a light lipstick, it completely draws attention away from anywhere else on your face. It's so bright and so in your face that it's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And that's completely the opposite of what you really want for Lolita and kawaii fashion. Lips can be accentuated, they can be made to look bigger, but they shouldn't be the focus point in like J fashion and harajuku fashion. Again, like if you're doing something super like artsy, then obviously do that, but I assume that you know enough about makeup already. There are two ways that you can get around this. Either you can use a dark colour to line your lips and then keep the light colour in the middle. And what this is going to do is it's going to give a light to dark gradient that's going to diffuse your lips into your skin colour and allow it to blend. I'm just taking a very, very dark lipstick on a lip brush. And I'm just going to start lining around my lips with it. This looks ridiculous, like, don't go out like this. What you need to then do is diffuse it inwards, so you're going to blend those two colours together. And that just helps to soften the colour out a little bit and let it blend into your skin. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't like this shade of pink on my lips anyway. It's like kind of very like Barbie bubblegum pink. I don't really like light colours on my lips at all, and I don't really like doing a light to dark gradient as well. I think if you want to do it, but I think it still is quite harsh for kawaii makeup. But that being said, I have seen people pull it off, so it can be done. I just don't do it. So the other thing I would suggest doing is just going in straight with a darker colour, so a darker pink or a red colour. Obviously not all colours are going to suit your skin tone, so again it's just a case of experimenting and seeing what really looks good with your skin colour. I tend to find that kind of dusty pinks and like reds look better on me than purples. I don't think purples suit my skin colour at all. My current favourite is actually the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the colour Sao Paulo. This is a really pouty colour. I think that's why I like it. I really like pouting and being like, Give me what I want. Spoiled brat K. That's my kind of K. Also, I like that it's matte because either I can wear it like this or I can put a lip gloss on top of it to make it shiny, so it's very versatile in that way, and I really appreciate that. So most of the time when I make videos, I'm either wearing this or I'm wearing the same lip cream but in the colour Monte Carlo, which is like a darkish red colour. It's just a little bit darker, more reddy colour. So if I wanted to have a little bit of shine, then I would just add a little bit of lip gloss over the top, but I tend to concentrate it right in the middle because I find that sometimes when you put lip gloss all over your lips, it can make them too big looking, too full looking, and obviously full lips tends to be a black feature, so you don't want to overdo it. You know, we are already blessed with naturally full lips, so don't overdo it. So I tend to find that concentrating it just in the middle just helps to plump them up just a little bit and makes them, again, more pouty, but doesn't make them look too full and too much. So those are some tips that hopefully will help you refine your makeup. There's something outside of my door. Can I say hello? Say hello. Say I'm a boy. I'm a boy. Are you sniffing my makeup? What a cute little baby boy. We love Wilson. Anyway, as I was saying, I hope these tips have been helpful. I have shared my secrets with you today. So I guess they're not really secrets anymore. But genuinely, I do hope they were helpful, and I hope that you can incorporate these into your makeup routine and you can come out with a style that is just yours. Because I feel like there's nothing better than having your own style of makeup and just looking your best. So let me know if there's anything else you want to see along these lines. I know people want me to do some stuff with my hair and show me and show you how I do my hair, how I put in my ponytails and things like that, and just kind of give you a tour of that stuff. And I'm very happy to talk about that in the future. So if there's anything apart from that that you want to see, then let me know down below. And I think that brings us to the end of the video. So thank you all so much for watching, and as always, thank you for liking, commenting and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Mwah!